Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Workday co-founder and chairman, Dave Duffield, and Workday Chief Operating Officer, Jim Bozzini.
Welcome, Workday community. Thank you for coming. Over 10,000 of you in the audience today. Fantastic. Wow. Not to mention all of the people around the world watching via live stream. Probably another 10,000. Wow, this is tremendous. Before we get going this morning, I think I should let everyone know why you are here with me instead of our CEO and my co-founder and wonderful friend, Anil Bushri. I think that's a good idea. Anil is not going to make it to Rising this year because of a family emergency. His father is very ill, and Anil made, I believe, the right decision to stay home with his family at this time. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Anil and his family at this very challenging time. So, you're the understudy? Dave, I think you're stuck with me today. Okay? Do you know what that thing is over there? It looks like a big, giant button. What's it for? I don't know, but whatever you do, don't push the button, okay? That's interesting. Just there. Just that one, that's right. Hey, let's get back to the reason why we're here. It's for all of you. And we couldn't do it without the support of our titanium partners, Accenture, Deloitte, and IBM. How about a round of applause for our titanium partners, as well as the 85 other partners who make Workday Rising bigger and better every day. Thank you so much for that. So before we jump into this morning's program, I want to take one more moment to express our support for the Las Vegas community, given the anniversary we commemorated yesterday. And many of you know I'm a Nevada resident. I love the spirit and resilience of this place. And a very special little person, our daughter, Mackenzie, was born here almost 9 years ago in this very town of Las Vegas, Memorial Hospital. So a great thing. So Jim, it's moments like these that we appreciate the support of those around us. And that's exactly why Workday Rising is all about. And there's one important message we want to get across through all of this conference. That's right. Like no other, the Workday community can go further together. That's the theme of Workday Rising this year, which you're going to hear about throughout the week. And it's based on a concept we call the power of one. One source for data, one security model, one experience, and one community. This is only possible at Workday because of the way we architected our technology from the very beginning. It's the technology and so much more. We're an enterprise solution. I mean, this is hard stuff, whether it's payroll, accounting, planning, HR. I mean, it's tough stuff. It's made to serve an enterprise. I just think we have this power of one. We're all on the same version. And I love saying this every year, that if we have a bug in our product, that rare bug, every once in a while, we can fix it in one place. And all 2,300 of our customers get it fixed immediately at that same time. Right. And we put out these amazing feature-rich updates. Every 6 months. Every 6 months. And every one of those 2,300 customers can take advantage, upgrade to that new version in a matter of hours. I mean, that's amazing. Everything about Workday experience, from the way we innovate to the way Workday employees, customers, our business partners, we all work together. And it's called the power of one. It's based on the power of one. That's right. And you, our customers, can be more successful as a result. It just makes good business sense, doesn't it, Dave? It sure does. But you know what else? It's more fun. Do you remember the previous company and the previous conferences? I do. We attended. They were not fun. No, not very fun most of the time. same number of customers, maybe 2,300. They were all on different versions of our product.
All on a unique version, basically.
All unique versions. No sharing. If it fix a bug, you had to send out 2,300 takes, right?
That's right.
Wasn't fun. This conference, we're all in the same version. We're all unified. We're having a great time, and we can celebrate rather than grouse. So, thank you. Thank you for our customer base.
Are you all ready to have fun this week? I think they're ready.
Yeah, we're all on the same team. Now, I'm going to hand it off to you, Jim, to take everybody through the rest of today. And I'll leave it with a quick video, to celebrate everything we as a community have achieved this year.
Okay, but before you leave the stage, Dave, I don't get this opportunity very often, and so I just want to reflect. Look at what Anil and you have built. Millions and millions of people on Workday, right?
Fantastic, yeah.
And to think, this all happened, this all started 13 years ago when Dave and Anil were at breakfast just kicking around ideas.
Yeah.
Amazing.
What a great moment.
Well, I just want to say on behalf of the Workday community, thanks Anil, and thank you so much, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's roll the video. It's fun to look back on all of that. You've been busy. Happy Workday anniversaries, by the way. It's an exciting time to be here together, sharing what the future holds for the Workday community. You're going to hear from the leaders at Workday who are listening to your feedback and shaping that future. But before we dive in, let's take a moment to celebrate the growth we're seeing thanks to all of you. The more than 31 million workers in Workday, we've grown Workday to over 9,700 employees around the world, and we just recently opened offices in Italy, South Africa, Thailand, and South Korea. And, as most of you have heard, we welcomed Adaptive Insights to the Workday family. All right. With this acquisition, Workday brings a leading planning solution to our customers. And that solution, Adaptive Insights Business Planning Cloud, will be the single planning solution for all Workday customers. We're going to talk about that in more detail in a few minutes. We're so excited to be bringing an industry leader to serve our customers' business planning needs and to see that leadership grow even stronger as we unify it with our core applications, leveraging the power of one. And speaking of leadership, we're proud that industry analysts have named Workday a leader not only in cloud HCM management, but also for cloud financials management. And this year marked yet another milestone for financial management, as Aon, one of our largest full suite customers, went live with both HCM and financials across 70,000 employees, 120 countries, on time and on budget. Yet another demonstration of our commitment for getting Fortune 500 customers into production smoothly. Congratulations to the Aon team, a great example of a live, happy, successful customer. How about a round of applause for Aon? So important that we see those large financial customer go-lives, but mostly important that we have yet another successful customer. And customer success is always top of mind for us at Workday. We're committed to helping our customers continuously increase the value that they derive from their Workday investments. And all of us at Workday consider ourselves in the business of customer success. To ensure that we're providing you with an outstanding customer experience, we ask you for a lot of feedback. And each year, every customer is asked to participate in an executive sponsor survey. Now, in that survey, we measure our overall customer satisfaction, and our goal is 95% or better. So this is a big moment for us. Everybody at Workday is wondering, how did we do this year? Let's see how your Workday executive sponsors rated us this year. Our customer satisfaction rating this year is 98%. 98%, pretty incredible. But let me tell you something. This is a huge accomplishment for all of us, because it certainly takes collaboration from Workday teams, partner teams, and customer teams to achieve this amazing result. So thank you all for your support in getting us there. Now, going further together is about improving outcomes for our customers, as well as people in our communities where we work and live. And more than 190 million people around the world are struggling to secure sustainable careers, while employers struggle to find the right talent. Workday's program Opportunity On-Ramps creates career pathways for people from so-called non-traditional backgrounds. Let's roll a video where a couple of our Opportunity On-Ramps alumni explain.
I was in the Army for 20 years, 3 months, and 12 days. I was a senior field artillery officer and paratrooper. I was responsible for a company of 152 soldiers. I was looking for an opportunity to be a project manager. That was the equivalent of what I was doing for about the last 10 years in the Army. I had applied for over 49 different jobs, about 18 interviews. The world tried to tell me that 20 years in the Army was not going to make me successful in corporate America. What they don't see is they don't have to tell me to show up to work on time, ready to go. I truly care about the people around me, and I want to see all of us succeed. I am a leader of people. I'm a proud military veteran, and now I am a proud member of the Workday family as a program manager.
I grew up in Oakland, California. There was a lot of violence, a lot of crime. Coming from where I was coming from, you don't see a lot of people in tech, and not people who look like me at the very least. I didn't want to end up as a product of my environment. Programs like Opportunity On-Ramps, they're important because if we don't get those opportunities, you'll never see these amazing people. Potential employers should see me as someone who's ready to work, someone who's got the grit to make things happen. My name is Bianca Luna Acosta, and I am an automation engineer here at Workday.
Wow, two amazing stories. We're so proud of Sean and Bianca, as well as all of the Opportunity On-Ramps alumni at Workday. I invite you to participate in the volunteer opportunities this week. Please visit the Opportunity On-Ramp space in the expo to learn more about the ways that you and your organization can get involved. Okay, now, let's move on to the showcase to see how we're going further together from a product and innovation standpoint. And to do that, please welcome to the stage Leanne Levensaler.
Together. We're all sitting at the intersection of business trends and technology innovation. Every company in every industry is fundamentally changing in the digital era. And everyone in this arena, the Workday community, you have a special position to deliver value to your organization in entirely new ways. But the complexity is high. The forces shaping business are coming at us hard and fast at a frenetic pace. Fortunately and thankfully, technology innovation is unlocking new possibilities for us. And as a whole, the enterprise cloud industry has a way of grabbing hold of these technology innovations and creating new experiences, solving new business problems. Starting with the emergence of the enterprise cloud, which was ushered in by our friends at Salesforce. Furthered by the introduction of big data, which brought the entry with the powerful Hadoop. Apple brought a new wave of personalization, certainly set an expectation bar in the enterprise from what it means to be personal. Can you believe the iPhone was only launched 11 years ago? What would we do without our iPhones? And then more recently, newer tech like TensorFlow from Google has really showcased how machine learning can be applied at scale to automate administrative tasks. And at Workday, since our founding in 2005, we have been leading the way. We started as the first true system of record for your people and your finances. And over the years, we've added more experience into our application to support your entire workforce, to become a true system of engagement. And Barbary will be sharing a little bit more about that in today's keynote. And now we're leveraging our foundation, our strong foundation of having analytics and transactions all in one system, and we're building out our machine learning architecture to become a system of insight. So this morning, I'm going to focus on the next disruptive force in enterprise computing, artificial intelligence. Now, there are no shortage of buzzwords, hype, headlines to describe artificial intelligence. It has a way of conjuring up these images about a jobless future, or we're all going to be sitting around eating bonbons or in peril. I hope the bonbon part. And also, at the same time, it's interesting. AI has become the panacea for all of the world's ills, which I certainly hope so. But really, what AI is today for us, and in our context, are technologies to describe how the machine can perform tasks in intelligent ways and then adapt to different situations. It's not robots, at least not yet. It's a prediction machine. Prediction is a key component of intelligence, but it's not the same as intelligent beings. We're not predicting things we haven't seen yet. The technologies that have made everyone, including us at Workday, really excited about AI is machine learning. Now, machine learning is used to make predictions, taking information you have to generating information you don't have, where systems can learn from the data, identify patterns, and then inform decisions. And deep learning, which applies the same methodology to images and sounds. It's just like what you experience with Amazon or Netflix, where they present you new information based on your use, based on your past history, or how Siri recognizes your voice. Or for those of us in the South, we're still trying to teach Siri and Alexa, yonder, fixin', y'all, sugar. Not quite there yet, but we'll get there. So why do we care? Well, how does machine learning help you? Well, decision-making is at the heart of every business. And let's face it, as humans, we need to make better predictions, don't we? We're not the best at making predictions, especially when you consider the enormous amount of information that we need to process. We do, as humans, we have the ability to make judgments that lead to decisions and drive outcomes. But if you start with a stronger, more accurate prediction, you're going to have a much straighter path to a strong outcome. And that's really what we want. And that's why we need prediction machines. Now, this term, this concept, we picked up from a book called Prediction Machines. 3 economists out of the University of Toronto. They wrote this book to provide clarity to mere mortals, people like us, business leaders, about how to take advantage of artificial intelligence. And they recast artificial intelligence as a prediction machine, which really resonated with us because at Workday, our products team, we've been taking a very pragmatic approach to artificial intelligence and machine learning in our system, and you'll hear about that today. The machine has the ability to quickly process large volumes of data to make accurate predictions. It helps us find signal to uncover those aha moments. So it can make us humans smarter, make faster decisions. And we take this very seriously. With enough care in our design and enough feedback, the machine can make predictions without bias. And that's hard for us mere mortals. Very hard. So at a more pedestrian level, let's talk about predictions we're all used to. Weather forecasts are a great example of how a prediction that can really be enhanced by machine learning. To get an accurate forecast, you're actually taking data from multiple network sensors. There's a lot of historical data, a lot of different files of different types. We're even starting to incorporate more qualitative data into weather forecasts today, like social commentary and photos and videos. And really all this information just comes together to spit out what, the temperature, what the weather is going to predict. So we can plan, we can pack, we know what to wear. I have no idea what the weather is like. I haven't been outside in 3 days because it's Vegas. When the accuracy of our predictions increases, the value in our judgment goes along with it. And this ultimately leads to better decisions and, of course, better outcomes for your business. So we've been on this journey together with you, and we thank you for being our design partners, to being in the lab with us, to experiment with us. We started with big data analytics, and then we were really early to embrace machine learning. At Rising in 2014, we launched our Workday Insight applications. And then with our acquisition of Platform a few years ago, we added more advanced tools for our data analysts. We offered better visualization capabilities for all your users. And just last year at Workday Rising, we launched Workday Prism Analytics. Along the way, we've been building out our machine learning architecture into the fabric and the foundation of Workday. And we've done so with an open mindset. We're using open source services where appropriate, and we're also establishing partnerships for very specific services where appropriate, such as our relationship, our partnership we have with IBM Watson. It's been a journey, and we've learned so much, and we learned the right way to do it. We learned that machine learning will need to be everywhere, where you transact, where you plan, where you analyze. And we also learned that it is much harder than we ever thought in 2014. I have some more gray hair, a few more wrinkles, little battle wounds, because this is not just technology. It's not just new technology, it's an entirely different way of developing. You need the right data. Fortunately, Workday has the right data. You need a lot of data. We have a lot of data. But you need data early on. You need training data. You need input data. You need feedback data. You also need the right talent. We needed to pair data scientists with business people, because the data scientists, they need to be there to see if the problem can actually be solved by machine learning, and the business people need to make sure the problem that the data scientists are solving is actually a problem we're solving, right? It's actually a real problem. And we also need a development team steeped with expertise in data engineering and statistics. So over the last few years, probably like many of you, we've changed our hiring profile, our team composition, and we've acquired a few companies along the way with some expertise, some deep talent in this area to help us transform to where we are today. We are truly going through our own transformation. And we are not slowing down. In fact, we are now at a point where Workday will be that prediction machine. And we are uniquely suited to do this because of, well, you guessed it, the power of one. Now, we have one source of data, one source, one security model, one experience. That enables you to learn from every interaction, to understand patterns, and have predictions at every turn. This is not a bespoke set of applications. And while we've had a lot of learnings, as I've just established along the way of this journey, what we've always known and what we've always committed to since day one of Workday is making privacy protections the fundamental part of the Workday service. Because first and foremost, it is your data. Your data. So in addition to our ongoing compliance with privacy laws and regulations, we're furthering our commitment with 3 privacy principles that reflect our core values in all that we do. Put privacy first, innovate responsibly, and safeguard fairness and trust. How fortunate are we to be part of Workday, to have these values and these principles, all of us, this wonderful community. We all have a front row seat to this phenomenal revolution. This is the next era of enterprise technology. With your treasure trove, your gold mine, your honeypot, your mother lode of data, whatever great moniker you give your data, Workday will light up with predictions to move your business forward. Yay! It's a Coldplay concert. Across all of our applications, we'll be providing you with predictions for planning, now powered by adaptive insights. Of course, HR, finance, analytics, including Prism, and Workday benchmarking. It also applies when you extend the Workday service through Workday Cloud Platform, our platform as a service offering. Because we have one, the power of one. The future is now. One system that enables you to work the way you want to work, ultimately creating better outcomes for you, your people, and your business. That is the power of Workday. All right, now I have the opportunity to transition to our product leaders who are going to be showcasing how we're bringing this level of intelligence and predictive power to Workday. Now, you are wondering what this button is. So I get the first one to show you what's going to happen with this button. It's a little bit, it's Vegas, let's have a little fun with it, right? So of course a button is begging to be pushed. So here we go, ready? Oh, money, 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 money. Oh, planning, definitely money. So to talk about planning, I'd like to welcome my colleague, Tom Bogan.
Thank you, Leanne. It's great Workday rising. Wow. Absolutely incredible. So last night, Andre Agassi talked about plan the work, work the plan. But you can't do that unless we have a great planning solution. And that's why Workday and Adaptive Insights came together, to provide you with a world-class planning solution. At Adaptive, we share the vision that business should be done in the cloud. It transforms business applications. Leanne just talked about the way that data and machine learning will impact the way we work. And that's particularly true in planning. Because in planning, we believe there's a new era of predictive planning, augmented planning that is coming. But that's not where most of you are today. Most of you live in a world of planning that looks something like this. Spreadsheets everywhere, siloed information, disconnected data. It's really, really challenging. Some of you have legacy planning solutions, and they allow you to roll up financial data at a high level. But what it doesn't do is allow you to build a holistic operational plan for your business. We believe that good planning has 3 fundamental tenets. The first is that people who are closest to the business should do the plan. It just makes sense. Secondly, planning should be informed by data. Great data produces KPIs that we use to measure the operational effectiveness of our business. And those KPIs become the drivers in our plan. And then we can report on, monitor, assess how we're doing, and adjust the plan as we need to. Finally, planning should be continuous, We should plan on a regular basis. It should be agile so we can keep pace with the changes in our business. That's really essential and really critical. So to provide that, we have the Adaptive Insights Business Planning Cloud, software for people who plan. We have specific solutions targeted at finance teams, let you build an operational plan for your finance team, your P&L, cash flow, balance sheet, with all that rich operational data. For human resource teams, we provide workforce planning. In fact, we just announced the latest release of our workforce planning product today. We also provide sales and functional operational planning throughout the enterprise, so you can build a rich plan to your business. And with Adaptive Insights, companies model their business, they monitor the results, report on the operations, and analyze the business. We have a great customer, P.F. Chang's. You know them, they have over 200 restaurants, bistros in North America. And P.F. Chang's uses Adaptive Insights to plan their business at the restaurant level with the restaurant managers. They bring in operational data from their point of sale system, payroll from payroll systems, expenses from their GL. And they all roll that up to create a plan each month. And then at the corporate level, they're able to look at, slice and dice, analyze the results. Their CFO, Jim Bell, told me a story. He said it was about a year ago, he was on an airplane, and he had an inquiry from one of his board members. And the board member asked, what's the effect on our business of the hurricanes in Houston and Florida? Jim was able to go into Adaptive Insights, look at the results, isolate the stores, do a comparison to last year, prior months, other stores in the area that weren't impacted that current month, create a report, and send it to his board member from the airplane. Very, very powerful. So I'm really pleased. We're going to share with you a story from our newest customer. It's a $2.4 billion software company. So to tell that story, let me bring Barbara Larson, Workday's Vice President of Finance, to the stage. So Barbara, please join me.
In the 4 years I've been at Workday, I've seen a lot of change. The business relies on FP&A even more now. And it's why my lean but mighty team is focused on these 3 goals. Providing actionable insights, creating simple process, and being trusted advisors to the business. But that's easier said than done. We face some of the same challenges that Tom covered. There's too much time spent gathering, connecting, and validating data instead of analyzing it and telling the story. It's often out of date by the time we publish it, and of course, there's version control. I'm sure you've all experienced it, right? The final version, or this one's really final. I know I have, not to mention the dreaded spreadsheet error. So with all this chaos, how do we meet our goals? It's not with static spreadsheets or some complex combination of multiple systems. It's getting the right people and process in place and having one robust solution. That's Adaptive Insights. But it's no small task. We had just 10 weeks to deploy Adaptive Insights in order to make sure we got it done before the start of our annual planning process. And the deadline? Yesterday. Literally, we set our go-live date for yesterday, October 1st. No pressure, right? Well, I'm very happy to be here and share that we're live on Adaptive Insights. Woo! So how do we do it? Well, first we started with the basics. Full P&L, including headcount and capital. We did it in 2-week sprints, which really helped to break up the work and show progress along the way. And getting the right partner is critical. having a good partner helps to provide perspective and focus. With Adaptive Insights, we've got a great foundation in place. It's easy to get everyone involved. It's got a powerful and flexible modeling engine, and it's fast to deploy and make changes. It's helped with two of the planning areas that I really care about, revenue and headcount. Our revenue model pulls together the scheduled revenue, renewals, and forecasted bookings all in one place. And we've even been able to add two new dimensions to the model, product and geography. Something that before simply was too much data to try to do in a spreadsheet. Headcount planning is very similar. The filled positions, open positions, and the compensation data all come straight from Workday, and it's combined in Adaptive Insights now. Instead of gathering and validating that data, my team has more time to partner with the recruiters and managers on the future hires and truly support the growth of the business. And we're just getting started. We're already starting to unlock the possibilities. And it's put forward a new mantra for my team. This is our time. It's our time to dream about what's possible, to partner and think longer term, and to grow and develop our people. Think about the potential that you could unlock for your teams. What would your mantra be? For me, I'm looking forward to the future. And of course, I'm planning for what's to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. That was great. So at Adaptive Insights, we hear that story from many of our customers. We have over 4,000 customers, and we hear similar stories about the time to value to help you model, monitor, report on, and analyze your business. So let's talk about the future. So Jim talked about the, excuse me, Jim talked about the power of one. And over the next year at Adaptive Insights, our product roadmap will support the power of one, and we'll deliver a unified data model, one security model, a common community, and most importantly, a common user experience. We hope you have an opportunity to see the Adaptive Insights product strategy and vision session tomorrow, and we'll go into more details about the specific releases. So at the outset, we talked about the impact of data and machine learning on the future of planning. I believe planning will change more fundamentally over the next 5 to 10 years than it has in the last 30. The ability to automate plans, do scenario analysis, to assess risk factors, the things in your plan you should look at, that is work we'll be able to assist you with over the coming years. That will enable you and your teams to spend time on strategic issues rather than tactical issues. This is an exciting time. We're so thrilled to be part of Workday, an incredible company. Thank you, and have a great Rising. Now, I get to spin the wheel. Okay, next up, Human Resources, and Barbara again.
Good morning. Today's HR leaders face daunting challenges. So let's hear from Workday's Chief People Officer, Ashley Goldsmith, to find out what's top of mind for her and her peers. Roll the video, please.
The business landscape today is changing at an unprecedented rate and in ways we've never seen before. Every industry is being reshaped by digitalization and automation, which is completely redefining how work gets done. Ultimately, these changes have the greatest impact on our people. With these changes happening so quickly, Many skills that were needed for yesterday's jobs are now becoming obsolete, which is widening the talent gap. As HR leaders, we need to ensure that our people can stay one step ahead of this change by helping them hone their current skill set, acquire new skills, and at the end of the day, drive their organizations forward.
And today, at Workday, we are delivering a smarter approach. We are building machine learning-driven applications that always place people at the center of enterprise software to create better and smarter ways for people to work. Now, I'm excited to share with you what we have been working on and will be delivering over the next year to place talent at the forefront of exponential growth. And we are on a mission to help global organizations bridge the talent gap by connecting job seekers with organizations seeking talent. And to tackle this issue, we are applying machine learning to every aspect of talent management. Now, at the core of our efforts are skills. Skills are the new currency, the medium of exchange between the supply and the demand for talent. Yet skills represent an enormous data challenge for organizations today because there's numerous descriptions and synonyms that exist for every single skill. And skills are constantly changing. So as one skill emerges, another skill becomes obsolete. So to tackle this data challenge, we are taking a game-changing approach. We are creating a skills ontology, a universal language for skills. And with machine learning, we've been able to already disambiguate and narrow down over 200 million professional skills across industries to 55,000 skills that can now be widely understood and used. Imagine the implications. Imagine being able to do away with that painstaking work to manually understand, categorize, and administer skills. Well, now you can. I'm pleased to announce the Workday Skills Cloud, and it's available now. But that's just the beginning, because with a universal language for skills, we can now connect skills to people and their relationships to jobs, to opportunities, projects, and so much more. Skills become that connective tissue, that data fabric, so that machine learning can deliver predictive talent insights as well as proactive learning opportunities. So next, I'm going to share with you how we're using machine learning and the Skills Cloud to deliver a smarter approach to talent management. And the first place that this comes to life is in the talent marketplace, where today executive teams grapple with how best to grow your organization. Do I build talent internally? Do I hire from outside, or do I borrow on a temporary basis? Well, to help our customers build talent internally, we are developing a talent mobility platform with target delivery in Workday 34. Now, underlying this talent marketplace is machine learning that will automatically match talent resources with the most relevant skills to opportunities. Again, these are jobs or projects where they can have the highest impact and growth. Let's take a sneak peek at the talent marketplace, where you'll be able to post and promote your opportunities online, listing the critical skills and qualifications required. And then machine learning will predict the best fit candidates for every opportunity. It will assign a match score to every candidate, and it will provide a detailed skills gap analysis of the skills they have, the skills they're missing, and the skills that they will learn. Powerful. Now, another example where we'll be using machine learning is in recruiting to help you find the most qualified candidates so that they rise to the top. Starting with a smart candidate search that will help you look out across your entire talent network to locate those critical skills you need, and then return candidates with the highest predicted skills match score. And then, in partnership with IBM Watson Recruitment, we will be delivering candidate matching that will automatically match candidates with the required skills to your open job requisitions, again, on the highest predicted skills match score. But that's not all. To remove the conscious bias of recruiters and hiring managers, Workday will be delivering the ability to hide candidate information, such as race and gender, so that they will be purely evaluated based on their skills their expertise, and their experience. Now, another powerful way that we'll be using the Skills Cloud and machine learning is to deliver personalized talent development through employee journeys, designed to engage and grow the employee lifetime value of your people by delivering personalized career progression paths. Now, last year at Rising, I shared with you our vision to deliver a next generation people experience, one that is unified, personalized, and journey-driven. Well, let's take a look at it this year with Julie Bowles. She's a registered nurse who just got promoted to a manager, and she's presented with a guided path, a new manager journey. One that when she takes it to her mobile phone becomes her own career caddy. One that knows what she needs to do to transition into her new role. One that knows the skills that she has and the skills that she needs to develop. One that can recommend the learning so that she will be successful. One that even suggests mentors to help her. And one that knows that she wants to be a head nurse and can even prescribe her next career moves. Because that's the Workday people experience. Now, to take your organization further, there is one more thing. Planning and designing an organization to deliver on your talent strategy is hard. What if you had a tool that would allow you to explore different scenarios to determine the best model for your organization? Well, introducing you to the Workday Org Studio, a new tool where you can visualize, design, and execute reorganizations right inside Workday. One, where you'll be able to make changes through a simple drag and drop user interface in seconds. One, where you can even collaborate with others in real time. And one, with a flip of a card, you'll be able to view and compare key metrics at every level of the organization. And there's more. One, when you select a card, will reveal important details such as the open positions. And one, where you can even find and fill those positions without ever having to leave the Workday Org Studio. And then when you're ready, you submit to commit and your changes are done. And are you ready for the grand finale? You can present your new organization to the board with live data and live pages without ever having to leave Workday. And it's as easy as that. Now, these are just a few of the ways that we are using machine learning in the Skills Cloud to deliver a smarter approach to talent management and to help you close the talent gap. And with that, I guess it's my turn to be Vanna White and spin the wheel of Workday. It's so exciting. I've been wanting to do this all day. Are you ready?
You guys know where it's going.
And here it goes. I bet you can't wait to see, and it is Fun and Finance with Betsy Bland. Please welcome Betsy Bland.
Good morning, everybody. Let's kick this off by hearing about the state of finance today by our very own co-president and chief financial officer, Robin Sisko.
While CFOs and finance teams have recently stepped into a much more strategic role within their organizations, the pace and demands on them to guide the business are only continuing to heat up. And while data is king when it comes to finance's ability to effectively partner and guide the business, the explosion in the amount of data that is out there can be all-consuming. But what excites me is the technology evolution that is happening today. AI and machine learning are providing new ways to glean intelligence from data in ways that we never thought were possible just a few years ago. Data will continue to be the lifeblood for business success across all industries and geographies. The organizations that will lead in the future will be the ones that are successful at harnessing their data to both surface new opportunities for growth and strategically mitigate risk. The transformation is happening right now.
Says it very, very well. Finance is feeling the impact of data. So what do you do about it? Well, now is the time, more than ever before, to pay attention to the technology innovation that's happening. because it's finance that's uniquely positioned to harness that data, to analyze it, and to arm your organization for success. Now at Workday, we've been hard at work investing in our ERP cloud, well beyond financial accounting, in areas like Workday Student, professional services automation, even supply chain for healthcare. And so more capabilities in the Workday cloud means more transactions. And more transactions means better and richer data. So I want to talk today about the evolution of financial data in our cloud. Because if you look back a couple years ago, the financial information in Workday was largely limited to the accounting that was derived from our own applications. But a couple years ago, we changed all that. We opened up our architecture. And we now enabled you to bring in accounting journals from external general ledgers. A year ago, we took one more step forward with Prism Analytics. Now you can bring operational data into the Workday cloud. And I'm excited today to tell you we're taking it even one more step beyond that. Today, I'm announcing that within the next 18 months, we're going to be delivering the Workday Accounting Center. Well, what is the Workday Accounting Center? Probably asking that. It is the ability to take those operational transactions that you bring in from external systems. We're going to run those through our accounting rules engine. And we're going to generate the accounting journals, the debits and credits for those transactions. One accounting rules engine to derive all of your accounting. Now that is cool. Even the HR people in the room think that's cool. Well, what does it mean for all of you? It means a single source of truth. Think about it. You have your financial data, your operational data, in summary, in detail. You could take that summary financial metric, right, on your P&L or your dashboard, and you can trace it all the way back to those source operational transactions, even if they didn't originate in Workday. That is the power of one. And that is your foundation, not just for financial reporting, but for integrated business planning and for enterprise analytics. And it's your strategic weapon, finance, as you arm your business for success. Now, analytics is one way to harness this ever-growing amounts of data. Machine learning is another. And I happen to think that machine learning is one of the most interesting innovations happening to financial applications in a pretty long time. But what is it? What does it mean for finance? It's a buzzword. How do you make sense of it? Well, I'm lucky. I happen to have a very smart colleague, James Cross, and he explained it to me this way. Is it a chihuahua or is it a muffin? Imagine you had thousands or millions of these transactions that you had to go through manually to match or reconcile. We should turn that over to the machine. Let them do that in a fraction of the time. Probably the most important question you'll be asked this week, is it a chihuahua or is it a muffin? Okay. So more practically, we're going to see machine learning surface in financial applications in the following ways and patterns. Recommendations and predictions. What if the machine could predict expenses that need to be accrued at month end? What if the machine could predict items that someone needs to requisition to support an operating room? Optical character recognition. I talked about this last year. Our use of deep learning and neural networks to scan images and documents. Earlier this year, we rolled that out for employee expenses, and we're well underway working on supplier invoices. Transaction matching and reconciliation, like bank reconciliation, account reconciliation, and of course, anomaly detection. The ability to go through all of your data, your accounting data, your payroll data, your time tracking data, your employee expense data, and identify and predict and surface anomalies. So over the next 18 months, I'm excited that we're going to be delivering transaction matching, account reconciliation, and anomaly detection as part of our core financial management offering, embedded natively in your business processes. And so with anomaly detection in particular, we're going to go through all of your accounting detail. The machine, the system, the application is going to do that. All of your journal line detail, not a sample, all of it. And it's going to identify and surface anomalies for your review. And the system gets smarter, it learns. Not just able to predict anomalies, but also to predict and recommend actions for resolution. So imagine the impact that this might have on your close process. A traditionally burdensome, manual, reconciliation-heavy process that happens at period end. What if we could take much of that workload and offload it to the application, to the machine, right? So in real time, the matching, the reconciliation, the anomaly detection, the application is identifying and performing that work in a continuous basis, not at period end. And your finance organization can instead focus on exceptions and anomalies and investigating and resolving them. So I hope you can see the power that technology has to transform finance. Intelligent automation, predictive insights. Now's the time. Finance is uniquely positioned to be the stewards of your enterprise data and to collaborate with your line of business leaders and arm them with the strategic insights they need to successfully drive your organization forward. Now is the time. Okay, so I get to push this button, and I'm gonna make a bet. I'm gonna put I'm gonna put $500 on Analyze. There we go. Wish me luck. All right, come on. Come on. All right. Well, it is my pleasure to introduce the gentleman who now owes me $500. Pete Schlamp.
You know what I love about data? Data's behind the magic that we experience every day in our personal lives. Like when my smartphone asked me on Tuesday morning if I want to navigate to Workday headquarters in Pleasanton. Or when my internet radio station occasionally plays a song by Neil Diamond. Or when Alexa answers my daughter's question about how long it takes us to go around the sun. Your business generates just as much data. But why does it feel like we don't have those magical experiences in our everyday lives? You need a partner who will put this data to work for you. At Workday, we're here to make the magic happen. And it starts with benchmarking. Where do you stand up against your peers? Do you hire more quickly? Do you pay more? We can tell you. With benchmarking, the more data that we have in the Workday cloud, anonymously shared by you, the more accurate and valuable our data can be. Now with data from over 7 million workers, our benchmarks are getting more and more accurate. This year, we focused on providing different perspectives for you to measure your business. We call this dimensionality. And this year, we've added industry, country, worker type, and gender to the mix. For example, you can determine how quickly you're hiring female executives versus your peers in the industry. It's right there in Workday. Benchmarking data is one of the ingredients in analytics, but analytics is kind of like baking a cake. You have to combine the flour and the water and the eggs and the milk together in just the right way, and then you get the magic of the cake. So Prism brings together all of these ingredients for you, including the operational data from across your business, securely in Workday's cloud. In July, we introduced the new Prism Data API. It's a programmatic way to push data from your business into the Prism Data Catalog. Your IT team will love its power and its flexibility. And since most customers are already moving data across their networks using an integration platform, we've partnered with them to make sending data into Prism just a click away. Whoosh! Your operational data is ready for analysis. And nobody wants to put their data in a data jail, so we made it just as easy to extend the data in Prism out for other uses. We're introducing Workday Query Language in Workday 33 for developers and data scientists to securely access their data in Prism. Developers are already building apps with this data on the Workday Cloud Platform. Prism is becoming the data hub for your finance and HR teams. Workday Prism Analytics is growing like crazy. We introduced it a year ago in Workday 29, and we already have over 100 customers across all Workday industries and worldwide, and more than 50% of them have Prism in their production tenants. One of our Prism customers is Unum. They're a Fortune 500 insurance company, and they use Prism to bring together external market rate data with compensation data in Workday to identify discrepancies in comp across their business. Let's hear from Corey at Unum to see how Prism is helping their business.
Prism has really allowed us to take all of these separate data points across the Workday platform and combine it together to really give a compensation overview that our leaders would want to make decisions on. Prism has really allowed us to bring together data and action in one place.
Last year at Rising, we promised to deliver ad hoc analytics for Prism customers via discovery boards, and in June, we came through on that promise. Discovery boards enable business users to freely explore their data by dragging and dropping data onto the canvas. Visualizations appear instantly, and customers are developing a deeper understanding of their business. Discovery boards can be shared for collaboration, and any visualization can be exported as a Workday report. The response from our customers about Prism discovery boards has been so positive, it got us thinking, what would be the impact if all Workday customers were able to use discovery boards to freely explore their Workday financial and HR data? Instead of using Report Writer to manually build a report, you'd do it visually, interactively, with drag and drop. The FP&A team could do their analysis right inside Workday. HR could support org leaders without learning how to build a report. All of a sudden, we would all be making better business decisions. It seems like a good idea, doesn't it? We think so too. So we're making discovery boards a new standard way for all Workday customers to explore their Workday data, and we're going to start rolling it out for free to customers in Workday 33. So we've made a lot of progress for business users. But what about executives with a busy schedule? Most executives don't do their own analysis, no matter how easy and accessible it is. Too much data can be a challenge. Dashboards and KPIs solve this, right? They're designed to help us focus in a sea of data. But in reality, Many executives report having too many KPIs or feeling that this data is just too shallow. So instead, you have teams of analysts poring over data to determine what matters now, why is it happening, and what to do about it. We knew that there had to be a better way, a way to put higher value information in your hands without all the work. Today, we're introducing a new AI for the enterprise called Augmented Analytics. Augmented Analytics uses pattern detection to look for important changes that a human might not see. Graph processing to find connections across vast data sets. Machine learning to predict the most important issue for you to see personally. And natural language generation to explain what's happening in a simple story. Workday searches through tens and hundreds of millions of possible scenarios and data to prioritize and automatically deliver analytic stories to executives on a regular basis. Stories can be positive or negative, and there's something that you should know. But we go beyond just telling you what's happening. Stories dig even deeper into your data, automatically tell you why it's happening. This gives you the essential information that you need to make decisions about your business. Here's an example. This is a story about quality of hiring in my business. I can see that regrettable attrition has increased to 9.4% over the last year. At first, it looks a bit like a KPI, doesn't it? Until you realize we didn't ask to see this. Workday predicted this is what we need to know. We can see that it's happening in London, and because workers are leaving to pursue jobs where they're getting higher compensation. And with a single click, we can understand that London is contributing 71% to the story, and higher comp is 51%. But it's also happening in New York and due to a specific hiring manager, Jake Lee. This is something that we can act on right away. Our first use of augmented analytics will be a new application called Workday People Analytics, designed exclusively for organization leaders, executives, and HR business partners. People Analytics will include dynamically created stories and static content covering a wide variety of workforce topics, including diversity, org composition, hiring, retention and attrition, talent and performance. People Analytics will be available standalone in Workday 33, and if you're a Prism customer, it will be included in your Prism subscription. This is just the start of augmented analytics. We're taking the AI behind augmented analytics and building it deeply into the Workday platform. In the future, we'll apply it to financial data too. If revenue growth is up, we can tell you what regions and why. We'll explain changes to the cost of revenue. We'll tell you what's impacting gross margin. Now it's your job to get your data in a Workday cloud so we can start building the future together. Workday is entering a new age of data. Beyond self-service and into the world of AI. With the power of augmented analytics, your Workday will predict the most important issues for your leaders to focus on. They'll apply their judgment, and they'll decide how to act. Your decisions will be better. Your business will perform better, only on Workday. Now it's my turn to spin the wheel. And this will not take AI or machine learning, but I am going to predict a chihuahua. Just kidding. Extend. Yes, we got it. I'd like to welcome to stage David Clark to talk to us about Extend.
Morning, everybody. That was a complete shock. When my name came up, I was at back jamming a couple hundred bobby pins into my hair. I've had to rush out. That won't make any sense if you weren't here yesterday, but I'm not going to move very quickly around the stage, and that's my explanation. I am, however, quite happy to be out here rather than back there because, frankly, it's pretty chaotic. For some reason, Betsy is wandering around with a muffin on a leash. Clearly her machine learning algorithms are malfunctioning. But let me tell you, her chihuahua looks pretty nervous. So it would be remiss of me to stand on the stage here today with Workday sponsoring, as we do, a number of golfers, and having in the audience, as we do, many Americans, and not offer my sincerest commiserations on your unfortunate but quite substantial defeat to Europe in the Ryder Cup at the weekend. Woohoo! Go Europe! But on the plus side, at the rematch in 2 years' time, there will be no British players in the European team, so you probably have a better chance. So, with your indulgence, I would like to pivot on to more business-related topics momentarily. And we announced the cloud platform here about 12 months ago. So I'd like to give you a quick update on what we've been doing since then, where we're at, and what we're planning next. So I think you'll remember that historically, Workday was all about scaling and stability in the platform, and then about building out a portfolio of applications. But it turns out that we can't type fast enough to build all the apps that you guys want, and we can type pretty quickly. So we're in this kind of Malthusian race between demand and supply. Also, Malthusian might be a little dramatic, but you get the idea. Also, we understand that companies are different than each other. We understand that industries are different. We understand that countries are different. And there's a certain appropriate level of customization for Workday to provide. But eventually, we want to tap more into the creativity of customers, users, and the ecosystem to actually deliver a much more customized and personal Workday. We want to enable permissionless innovation, which was what drove the original internet. And that is the fundamental thinking behind opening up the Workday Cloud Platform. But what does it mean in detail, or in some detail? Well, there are 4 dimensions that we think about. That's quite a gratuitous reference to dimensionality, just to stay in with the analytics guys, so excuse me that. Firstly, it's the ability to extend the data model. So you can add new types, new objects, new fields into the system. T-shirt size, whatever. Secondly, you can extend the process. T-shirt sizes are quite important to technology companies. It's surprising it wasn't a fundamental data type in Workday in ways. Secondly, you can extend the processing model. So you can build new types of business process to work on that data. No more overloading the higher BP. Thirdly, you can create new layouts and forms so that you can easily consume those data and those extra processes. Not like you would consume a chihuahua, but consume in the sense of make it easy for users to actually go ahead and experience them. And finally, and this is a longer term opportunity, to build and share full-fledged applications on top of the Workday platform to build out the overall portfolio. Interestingly, this last approach is the approach that we ourselves have taken to integrating and extending the Prism Platform technology and now the Adaptive Insights technology. It's how we can expand while still retaining and anchoring in the power of one. So how are we doing? Well, since we announced this here last year, we've been busy. We now have over 30 customers working with us in limited general availability, and a number of them already have valuable use cases in production, which we're pretty motivated about. Over the course of the next 12 months, we're going to deepen those use cases, expand the customer pool, and support more complex scenarios with a view to having full general availability of the platform by rising of next year. So let's dig into a couple of these customer use cases just to see in some more detail what people are doing. So our friends over at IBM use a lot of digital badging inside of the company to help signify and publicize skills and achievements. So the IBM team have built an application that surfaces these digital badges inside of Workday, which makes them a lot more useful and a lot more visible. This is already in use in production at scale with over 1 million badges served. Next, Flex, who are an early Workday customer and a global technology manufacturer, have built an application that lets employees register and manage their vehicle information inside of the Workday system. It seems small, but it's very useful, and it also has benefits for corporate security. I'm not sure about punch-ups over e-vehicle charging spots, but maybe that could be version 2. Of course, when you look at this scenario, it's easy to imagine how when you extend and extrapolate that to other kinds of business assets and business information, that could also be managed in a data sense and a workflow sense inside a Workday. And it seems to us that a lot of these kinds of business assets have workflows that are inherently people-centric, and therefore, in a sense, it makes sense to have them closely associated with the people system of record. So last year we talked briefly about Netflix and a use case they wanted to work on around supplier requisition management. And we're pleased to say that we've worked with them for over a year, almost a year, and now they've got a system in production doing just that. We've got a video we'd like to share with you from Netflix talking about it in some more detail.
In order to scale with the rapid business growth at Netflix, we realized we could gain efficiencies in the process of managing the purchase order requests that our buyers receive from the suppliers.
The current process is that we have marketing agencies using Google Sheets. Then our finance ops team goes into those Google Sheets and they combine it all together and create POs within a Workday.
This is where we decided we should look at Workday Cloud Platform and try out a form or a business process framework for where we can record the purchase order request from the supplier. The team can now focus more on the review process and more looking at the budgets versus actuals rather than doing the data entry. That's the gain we see. Building on Workday Cloud Platform gives us a way to harness the power of one, the development was faster, and then we don't need to spin up any additional resources or any additional tools, no import or export of data out of Workday. The Workday Cloud Platform really opens doors for customers to think and innovate.
Awesome. The guys are actually from Netflix in the audience today, but they somehow preferred that we stream the video instead, which I guess we understand. So, how do you actually go ahead and build these kinds of applications? Well, as we talked to you, we understood there are two main classes of applications. One is apps built by professional developers in code, using APIs, perhaps running on Amazon Lambdas. And that's a very important class of application, which we will talk about again. But a second important class of application is for simpler apps, where you want end users or system administrators to be able to deliver the kinds of customizations I talked about. But the problem for the latter case is there aren't many good tools for that. So we're pleased today to announce what we're calling the App Creator, which is a simple web-based UI which will enable you, without being a programmer, to go ahead and build more complex interactions based on fields, layouts, videos, forms. And you can make it quite interactive as well. The example here is an equity compensation configurator. It works on various different form factors, mobile, iPad, etc. And when you initiate the process, it can go ahead and execute your custom business process like I mentioned earlier. And from there, it can percolate all the way through the rest of the Workday ecosystem. So you can have on-bound connections into other integrations, other data sources, and potentially machine learning algorithms of the kind that Barbara and the team talked about. So we'll be pushing this to limited general availability early next year with Workday 32. And finally, how are you going to go ahead and find and organize these applications? Well, we're also pleased to announce today availability of a new marketplace by Workday, where you're going to be able to access integrations built by us and our partners, content cloud content. There's some adaptive insights content in there already as well. And over time, this is going to be the center of gravity and the locus for where you can publish, share, discover, install, and use various kinds of cloud platform application. So this is going to be a journey. It's going to be a long journey, but like I said, the fundamental motivation here is to involve our customers in our ecosystem in helping us run faster and helping us go further faster as well. And now we reach the denouement of my speech and the apex of my Workday career today is when I get to press the eponymous button. By the way, it's not that the button is big, although it looks big, it's that our hands are quite small. So, it also, for some reason, requires like 2 kilonewtons of force. So, the bonus round. Well, it wouldn't be a Workday product keynote without talking about the future. And who better to talk about the future than Joe Korngebel?
Workday Rising. I love it because of the connections and the relationships that we all have together. You see, together, we've built something special. Together, we've built a community that's passionate about people, passionate about putting people at the center of everything we do. But it's time to go further together. Wait. It's time to go even further together. Let's do it. Let's talk about the future. And the future starts here. We, as Leanne mentioned, sit at the crossroads between business trends and technology innovation. But technology innovation has been the fuel behind our growth. And it's our built for change architecture that makes all of that possible. So here we stand, the dawn of the most disruptive thing to happen in technology since the advent of the cloud, AI. You've heard all morning about it, but it really is important to look at the architecture for how this is all happening. It starts with data. You've heard it all morning, but data at its source, clean data that can fuel the algorithms behind AI is essential. Having accurate data drives the innovation behind prediction. And with our object graph technology since the very beginning, we have exactly that. So let's go to the next. AI building blocks. It's all about the algorithms. Linear algebra and calculus. You see, I have a 16-year-old son who's taking calculus now. I said, Dad, when am I ever going to use this stuff? Today. Today is Math Day. Math Day is today. We're using these algorithms to predict the future. This is driving innovation through all of our applications. But we're doing it in a very open way. We're partnering with you to extend what we're doing with our building blocks, as well as our partners, like IBM Watson, making our video more intelligent, like Google with TensorFlow to drive open source projects within the community, and Amazon AI. These are the building blocks that really infuse AI through all of our applications. They brighten our entire Workday application set. But let's see it in action. Let's see the future in action. So, if I go over to demo, let's see it. So as you can see, here we are. Our Workday people experience. It's a human experience now infused with AI. You can see me and announcements that come to me that's very personal, but I love these predicted actions. The predicted actions know about me. I just flew out here on a flight, so just verify that expense. Don't go through the hassle. And I always spend a little bit of family time just after rising. And it knows that and gives me that simply and easily. I have learning recommendations. I have journeys that transcend not just my Workday applications, but our entire enterprise, so I can simply get things done. Well, you see, by just tapping on search, those recommendations and predictions follow me wherever I go. And generally at Rising, it's a great time for me to catch up with Dave. And you can see, it knows that. But even as I start typing characters, it knows that and provides that information simply and easily for me. And here is a powerful knowledge card. It's from our knowledge graph of information that gives me the data I need. It gives me the skills Dave has, some feedback, quick ways to contact Dave. From my conversation with Dave now, I notice there's some interesting new skills he has around Fortnite and dog walking. All right, Dave, scratch your head a little bit. But yes, now we can have an interesting conversation and move on. But this goes throughout our entire application. These knowledge cards are on all the objects in our Workday system. But it's not just a knowledge base around what we have, it's also the unknown questions. The questions that we don't have an answer for. And so, we're here in Vegas. We mentioned that 98% customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction, foundational to everything we do here at Workday. So I thought I'd take that commitment to the next level. And so I have a question which I know isn't answered yet from our finance team, which is what's our reimbursement policy on, that's right, Workday-related tattoos. That is customer satisfaction. That's commitment to the cause. So let's simply ask Workday about that. So if I simply look for the question, what's our policy on Workday-related tattoos? You can see we don't have the answer in our knowledge base yet. But we can dive in and see that information from our experts. It knows how to find our experts no matter where they are. So whether it's Robin Cisco, Ashley Goldsmith, or Barbara Lashen, this powerful data set we have, can find the answer for me. And so we can actually go a step further with our AI. We can use our Workday assistant, our virtual assistant, that Phil Mickelson behind us as our professional caddy. We can use our Workday assistant to actually go find that answer for us. It's that easy. So if I say yes here, my Workday assistant's gonna drive and find the answer for me. So if we go now to seeing if the assistant answers my question, I can actually see what's going on. Oh, boom, I got a notification. The assistant's answering my question.
Good morning, Joe. Your question, what is our policy on reimbursement for Workday-related tattoos, has been answered by Robin Cisco.
Unluckily, I don't look like I'm getting reimbursed for the tattoo, but I can add this information to our knowledge graph. And we can just, with a simple tap, give it the feedback to do that. But while we're with the Workday Assistant, why don't I ask about my hiring? I'm always interested to know how we're doing on our hiring. So, let's do it.
How are we doing on our hiring?
Here is your headcount to quarterly plan metric.
Love it, right? I give back the information I need when I need it. Data finds me. Just like you saw earlier, these powerful analytics find me, and I see my plan and my budget. Let's ask questions.
Can you find a product designer for our innovation lab?
So now we're going to try to find a designer and find a match.
I found a highly qualified candidate for your open product designer job requisition.
Awesome, we found Carmen Cortez. Let's look at her review and review her resume. This is her resume, a powerful resume, but it's a verified resume, verified with blockchain technology. See, we're leveraging blockchain technology to verify education, skills, experience, job experience. There's a lot going on with blockchain, and we see a lot of use cases, but this has concrete value today. Carmen's profile, her portable profile, belongs to her and it's verified. This is the future. This is where we're going. So let's go back to Assistant now and execute on that.
Based on a match score of 92%, Carmen has the qualifications to potentially fit well here. Would you like to schedule an interview?
Let's tap yes.
Great. I will reach out to Carmen and schedule an interview with the interview team defined in the job requisition. Our future is becoming very bright.
Love that assistant. That's Phil. Our future's becoming very, very bright indeed. You know, it's all because of you. It's because of this community that our future is so bright. And I wanted to thank you. Thank you for trusting us in your future. With that, I want to welcome you to a bright, bright Workday. So let's light these things up. Let's light these things up. Hey, you all have these wristbands. Let's enjoy lighting together. Let's see if we can have a little bit of fun. Hold those wristbands up. High, high wristbands. And lights down. Lights up. Lights down. Lights up. Yeah, this is your rising. Please engage. Please collaborate. And please enjoy your rising. Thank you all very much. Enjoy rising. Thank you.